Yo, what's up? This your boy Abstract. Welcome to another segment in the lab with Ab. Today we got something a little different for y'all, switching it up a little bit. All right, we got a special guest in the building. Want to introduce yourself?
It's your boy AK Reed Films, cinematographer, director, represent Pure Team.
Jay Stowe, Music Now ENT, Pure Team, play Mo in the series.
Fonz Carter, Brand New Life Couture, Demand Studios, Team Pure. Sound like I'm I'm an army, a soldier, or something, right?
Something like that. Something like that. Man, it's a movement.
It's soldiers,
It's a movement.
Then
Definitely.
y'all feel the ground shaking.
Oh, you already got the camo on.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. So let's talk about Pure. This release, this premiere.
Let's talk about
Definitely.
Man, the town showed up and showed out for y'all. Jump right in. Biggie reference. I got a story to tell.
Yeah.
2 words. I'm gone.
We didn't expect for it to be that good, but things happen.
It was good.
Yeah.
It was definitely good.
It was crazy being in the spot and hearing people like, yo, that's my favorite song. That's the Biggie joint that they just run you know what I mean? So it was good.
Right.
And people picked up on that real good.
People picked up on a lot of references. I'm watching it. I'm sitting in the trough and I'm going, this is my town. This is my city. This is Buffalo, and y'all made it beautiful, beautiful. So I'm gonna go with I've heard the statement before, from moving bricks to pushing books.
Right.
Like, the transition, fellas.
Right.
The transition. How does it feel to be here now?
It feels surreal, it's like a dream, really, to be honest. Because a lot of us in the street, we flirted with the idea of living on this side. We just never made the necessary sacrifices to do it because we was caught up in the lifestyle, So to be over here again, man, is a blessing, and it's a blessing from God, truly.
Absolutely.
Really.
Yeah, I believe that too. I believe the camaraderie of the team, the way it was put together, you know what I mean? It's like a 4-headed monster in my book. Like AK being a director and the eye of what we see, also acting, me being a music liaison for the movie, Fonz providing all the gear that you see, the brand new life in the movie, and then Deuce actually writing the book,
the enforcer,
right?
The
the
enforcer.
whole idea of it all is from Deuce,
Right.
and for us to come together the way we did and knew we was going to be working together for over a year shooting this joint. I just think that we had a good mutual trust between all the 4 of us, and we kind of brought a lot of stuff to light. You know what I mean? And a lot of friendships was built over it.
That's important.
Right.
Y'all already had, y'all didn't know each other before this project?
No, we knew. We
knew.
I knew Stove and Deuce. I didn't know Fonz.
We knew
all
of
it
each
took
other
was a little bit, and then
we knew of each other, but didn't know each other.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
me and
Right.
Fonz was the
Personal
first
level.
time meeting.
Yeah, I didn't know neither of the two.
Right.
Or and Deuce, I met Deuce through through a mutual friend, and through me and Deuce building.
Right.
It is it's the same thing that we do in the streets. If you slanging coke, and then you rock with your man, y'all come home together, and your man like, yo, I got them pounds cheap. You like, shoot, I slang coke, so I can tell you what. I look out for the coke. You look out with the weed, or any
Right.
plugs on weed. I send them through to you or whatever. Well, on this end, is the energy is different. It's positive
Right,
energy,
right.
but also it's like, yo, I know a dude that shoot movies.
Right.
Word. Well, I know a dude that's dope with music. Well, let's pull him in, let him run the soundtrack. True.
Right.
Oh, I know a dude that know how to act. I'm gonna call him up, see if he. And that's
Right.
basically what we did.
Build
We
the
used our
team.
street skills, the things, not necessarily street skills because it's a principle. A street or corporate America. We just used our wisdom and our experience to put this together on this end.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah.
So it's soon to be more projects with all y'all together.
Oh,
too,
So
in
this
the
is
future.
this is a series, so it's like it's not over.
Right.
Like we still got a whole nother part that y'all haven't seen.
Yeah.
No, it's still filming,
It's gonna be
right?
It's
really.
only
It's gonna be
two
it's really gonna be y'all seen 2, but it's gonna be a 3-part, like a 3-part movie type of thing series. So, but it's not gonna be like, we gonna wait for the next one to come. It's gonna be back to back.
Gotcha.
Right,
So
don't
once
keep them
everybody
waiting.
see this,
Right.
So speaking of plugs, throughout the movie, throughout the series, I see numerous plugs for local brands.
Right.
Brand New Life, of course. Saw You Ain't Low, Viking Life, I'm Living B. Man, much respect on, keeping this a 716 based project. The soundtrack is all local artists, and the soundtrack is dope.
Right.
Definitely dope. All the artists, all the actors, actresses, all local. Everybody from 716.
Yep.
Everybody from the town.
And a bunch of non-actors. Well, we got a couple people who did some things, but really, no experience.
Right.
Just went in and did the thing.
So that's the plan. Keep everything 716 Buffalo.
I mean, we gonna definitely reach out and stuff but the convenience wise, it was easy because
This
we
is
got
home.
the town, right? Right.
Yeah.
Right.
And we also wanted to, even within the crew, we wanted to give people like 716 will always have an opportunity
Right.
to be blessed with the project. Now if you from 716 and you come to act and we blow up and we gonna give you an opportunity. Now if you can't carry the role,
that's right.
then obviously we will go outside the 716. But we always want to keep the doors open because it's just initially that's the part of the whole vision of this project.
Right.
Yeah, and it's a lot of actors here in the town that's done a lot of stuff outside of Buffalo.
Right.
So the talent is here. You know what I mean? We just need the right people to come out for the right casting calls and the right members in this movie to pull it together. And like what he was saying, if it can't be done, we will reach out to somewhere else because it's a movement that's bigger than what we thought right now.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
And we are going to need more people. So, even if y'all, you look like you can play or you can. See, me, I'm kind of like a talent scout. Like, I don't care if you can act or anything. If I see that you got that look, we can make it happen. And it's just about acting. It's just about just being natural.
Right.
You know what I mean?
In the
And
moment.
that's why people they felt the naturalness in it. So it felt like it was real.
Yeah,
Right.
I mean, even in the trailer, I'm like, oh
Yeah.
snap! This joint official right here.
Right.
This is your second film, right? But I know you did the
It's kind of
Bartenders.
I did the Bartenders and then I did one called Cold. So that was like a Russian killer movie. We shot that in Lewiston, New York. So that was cool. So really, it's kind of like my third.
Third movie.
Yeah.
Okay, that's what's up.
So,
Where you gonna have the movies available at?
well, Bartenders, that's on YouTube. That's been on you. You can just punch in Bartenders movie or Bartenders trailer. It'll pop up.
Okay.
It's so many things that got to do with Bartender. You might have to scroll down.
Right.
But it'll pop up.
As far as the book is concerned, how have you strayed away from the book? Have you stayed fairly?
No, we like Fawn said, we use it as a skeleton. You know what I
Okay.
mean? So we fill in where we need to fill in. If certain things we can't shoot, we won't. But we'll figure something out.
Oh,
Put
that's
it
what's
in.
up, man. I like this whole idea of people from different elements coming together to make one big thing work. And I always said that, more people need to do that, regardless on what field that they in. Always find somebody that has a skill that you don't have and network with that person because it just, especially if y'all got that natural synergy, you know what I'm saying? It just makes stuff work, Everybody plays their role. Nobody's trying to go, over and beyond above what they know.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It's just
It's a
staying
mutual
in their
understanding.
lane.
Right.
Yeah.
I like that. Yeah,
And
definitely.
I think the beauty of our thing is everybody got their own story. Like I got a big story. Fawn's got a huge story.
Yeah, that's coming
Stove
soon
got a
too,
big
right?
story.
Yeah.
His
Yeah.
story is scary. I'm sure he's gonna go into that, but every time I hear his story, I look at him brand new, like, oh shit,
Yeah,
I'm sitting at the table with this guy. You know what I mean?
I had to interview him for it, and I went from a person interviewing to sitting there like I was in a crowd watching him, like he on TV. You know what I'm saying? The story, a very interesting story.
Yeah, the
And
snippet of
the triumph of it all and everything.
Yeah, the
It's gonna be a
snippet
great
of the
documentary,
trailer was
bro.
fantastic. I
Right.
can't wait for that to drop, to see that. Like I said, you have these gentlemen that come from their own individual proverbial bottoms, and now y'all here. That's a testament in and of itself. We want to use that as a motivating force for these kids out here now to say, okay, where you started isn't necessarily where you're going to end up. And I want to have you guys capitalize on that. Keep promoting that this is it's not your final destination. Clearly,
Also, just to, you was talking about the kids. People don't understand this pure team is just not about a movie. It's really a movement. You know what I mean? Things that that don't go unsaid. That go unsaid is the fact that, you know, we gave out 250 book bags to kids going back to school, and, you know, giveaways right out of our budget and our pockets, you know what I mean, just to give back to the community. So that's what the whole idea was for, to create opportunity for people that's, you know, coming home from jail, or people that's not, you know, that can't get certain things. So that's what the whole movement was about, and still is about. You know what I'm saying? So we don't want to just have everybody think like, okay, pure team, movie, series.
Right.
We trying to help the community with this. So that's why we grabbed everybody from the town, so everybody can have opportunity to jump on this wave. You know what I'm
Embody
saying?
and support our own.
Right.
Okay.
You know, a lot of people don't think that people from Buffalo, something like this is able to happen in a city like ours. You know what I mean? Like, what side of Buffalo you?
Well, I'm originally from Niagara Falls, which is, you know, 15 minutes away.
Right.
So, you know what I mean? So, I mean, yes, I'm originally from Niagara Falls, though.
It's still
Okay.
716.
Yeah,
It counts.
absolutely.
Yeah.
What side of Buffalo you from?
East.
East side?
Yeah,
So
Six
you grew-
Dudes.
Okay. What about you? Same?
Lived everywhere.
Yeah,
You know,
pretty
know a
much.
lot of people. You know what I mean? So,
Yeah. So a lot of people think, probably, oh, these dudes, they ain't from Buffalo. They probably from out of town and just came here to film. You know what I mean?
Right.
They don't think that, you know, people got this kind of mindset because people don't go outside their computers and phones anymore. You know what I'm saying? And go out and really build real relationships with people.
Right.
They socialize on media. You know what I'm saying?
You know what the thing is about that is, maybe we make it look easy, but it ain't easy because we all dealing with life.
Right.
You know what I mean? And I think a lot of times people can't finish something because life happens. So, you know, even though we got our own stories, we all got life situations. Like, I know about his life situations, or Fon's life situations, or Deuce. He ain't at the table right now, but we all have situations that it can prevent you from actually completing the goal. You know what I mean? So,
If you let it.
yeah.
Definitely.
You know, that's the thing is, you know.
That's the key.
Yeah, that's definitely the key, man. My whole thing is consistency, man, and that's what I've been able to get from this whole group. Consistency and persistent, to be persistent.
Absolutely.
And we've, you know, it's been rough.
Yeah.
It's
You
been
know?
losing. We was losing the game, man.
Right.
You know, at
Yeah,
certain
so-
points, but we didn't let nobody know. We
Yeah.
just kept going and pushing.
Right. When you face an obstacle, you know, the true test of a man and or a woman
Right.
is really on how you face it and get over that obstacle. Do you let it defeat you? Or do you find another solution? Do you go around the wall? Do you dig under it? Do you
Right.
climb over it? You
Right.
know?
We knew, and not with the risk of sounding arrogant, we knew. No, I'll take that back.
Sound arrogant. Go ahead.
Exactly. we knew what we had the ability to do.
Right.
Same way you get a seed and it's a rose and you plant it. When you get the rose, you're not surprised. You're like, I knew that's what was inside that seed.
Right.
But that's the same situation with this core group. I knew what we could pull off, and everybody was confident what we could pull off. Yeah, we had to climb the mountains and all of that to get to it. So when I seen the Trough, that was an amazing turnout.
Right.
To be able to see your vision, like I visioned us selling out the Trough.
And that was twice.
We
You know,
all
yeah.
seen
that
it.
was twice.
Yeah, so
Right.
so a bunch of local dudes, you know, sold out, you know, a top of the line venue 2 times in one night. That's, you know, I believe we made history to some degree.
Right.
You know, not to mention, you know, they're all minority group of men, you know, with some help, obviously, from the ladies. Just to be able to pull that off, man, was tremendous. Man.
Right.
Seriously. So
To walk out of there and say to have people say, regardless of the ticket price, I would
Right.
pay it
Yeah.
again and again and
and
again.
the love that we got, because it's like going into it, you know, we had a certain type of hype. It was hyped, like, oh, pure. So it's like, okay, but we lived up to the hype. You know what I mean? People loved it. We didn't get too many people saying so they loved it. You know what I mean? So that's hard to do too. So that was another mountain of pressure that was on us.
that's
Living up to the
house.
house.
To say to him, yo, we just gotta live up to the hype, bro.
We gotta
It's
live
a lot
up,
of-
yeah.
every day. Every time we went out, yo, what's up with the movie? I couldn't go nowhere without them asking. So what it did is it put a lot of pressure on my shoulders. I'm like, yo, fam,
Yeah.
the hype is crazy. Like we have to be able to live up. If not, you only get one shot, man. They ain't gonna
Oh
believe
yeah,
us.
they
man.
was
Yeah,
gonna
after
they
that.
was
They're not
gonna
gonna believe it.
condemn us.
Absolutely.
We would have bombed. We would have heard it. Right.
Ooh,
Everything would have been in question.
Your whole name.
Man, let me for that
reputation.
brand new life
Right,
gear,
right,
man. I ain't
right.
listen to no
Absolutely.
more music, not
Absolutely.
music, you know, all of that.
Your brand to turn a pro wing or something.
Quick.
Word.
Oh man,
It's people they're still talking, you know, and it's people that are still upset that they missed it, you know.
Well, that's good you say that.
That's
You know?
We about to double back on the 18th or
17th.
17th. Yeah, the 17th, same venue at the Trout. The ticket price is $10 cheaper, so it's $20 for tickets and $25 at the door. The first show started It's only one show, and that
8
started
o'clock.
8
8
o'clock. Okay, yeah. So the people that did miss it
Here's your
get the
chance.
opportunity to to revisit it.
Yeah, you couldn't believe how many people inboxed us on,
Right.
yo, when y'all showing again, or did the DVD drop, because they missed the joint and they was hearing so much about it, like, not 10 minutes after the movie was over,
Right.
just DMs and all types of, Instagram, everybody trying to hit you, to find out everything. So that was kind of overwhelming for me. I had to cut my phone off.
And the thing is we want people to see it before they see the next part. 'Cause
Right.
we don't want you to be like
Lost in the sauce.
exactly,
Right.
or just think that the next part is the movie itself. You know what I mean? So
And it'll probably, and I don't. This is not in stone, but as of now, it won't make DVD. So a lot of people are under the assumption that they can wait till it come on DVD.
Right.
But in the very beginning, before we start shooting, we were saying it's never gonna make DVD. What we're trying to do is we want to be as progressive and cutting edge as possible. So we're trying to dig our own tunnel.
Right.
So we didn't want to go with the YouTube situation. Money and violence and the rest of
Right.
YouTube. That's fine if it works for them. We wanted to kind of do our own thing, and what we're doing is we're touring with these premieres. Like we have one coming up in actually it's December 3rd in Ohio. We got the venue already secured. It's going to be a big red carpet studded event, and we'll just be redoing this everywhere. We got one in Charlotte coming up. So the people in Charlotte watching this know that we
Atlanta.
coming to your city.
Kind of like what you guys do with the book as well.
Yeah, exactly.
Same thing.
Atlanta,
Same thing. On the move,
Virginia, Houston, some of the spots that we know right off top that we're gonna hit. So we're gonna take this thing on the road before we decide to do anything
thing
else.
gonna blow up in Atlanta.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
Right.
oh, man,
right,
the support
and,
down
and
there
that's
is
the thing.
ridiculous.
And guess what? Like this is 716.
Right.
So a lot of people they don't know. They think we country, and they don't know that we got the ability to put out something like this, or we got the type of people that we got.
Right.
They might think we country. You know what I mean? So I think this is great for the town.
Oh yeah.
Absolutely.
And that's why we want to incorporate so many people in it. You know what I mean? So people can get the opportunity to be seen or to feel like they're a part of it. Like the whole 716, Buffalo's, Niagara Falls, we all are part of the movement. You know what I mean? So
What's some of the? I know you said everybody got issues and stuff like that.
Right.
Life, get in the way
Right.
when you're trying to put a project together. What was one of the biggest obstacles that? Was there any moment where you was like, man, we ain't gonna hit that deadline? You know what I'm saying?
You know what? I kept telling them I'll let y'all know when I'm comfortable as far as like the editing and stuff. But I'm just gonna take it back a little bit. When I remember when Fonz came to my premiere we had in Tonawanda for the movie Cold, and he was like, "Yo, you know what I appreciate most about this is that you finished." You know what I mean? So, and I remember, because I'm talented, I do a lot of different things, and I remember my grandmother told me one day, she's like, you got all the talent, but you just don't finish. So that right there is the obstacle, because we can all start out something with great intensity,
Right.
but don't finish. You might not even eat your whole bowl of cereal. You might leave something like just finish. And that's what he told me that he respected. So ever since my grandmother told me that, I made it a key point in my life to finish anything that I do. But it's hard because anything. You know what I mean? I got kids.
He
I
had
got
a child come in the middle of shooting it. The man is leaving, and God bless his little daughter had some situations when she was born. So he was in she stayed in the hospital for a lengthy amount of time, operation and all of that. He's coming from Rochester to shoot a little scene. I could see him beat down, and you know what I mean. I remember we prayed after he shot me. Had to shoot right back. He had to go to work. It was a lot. I felt the the weight on this dude's shoulder, man. But he stayed consistent and persistent and got it finished. That's just one example. But that was a huge situation.
I mean, you be points where you even set the computer up in the bathroom just to get a couple quick edits and stuff like that. And the thing is you got, but that's the part that people don't see.
Yeah, right.
You know how some people say they're grinding? A lot of people don't really know what grinding is.
Right.
Like they don't know what real work is. Some people know how to work around work. If it's the trash right there and they doing everything else, cleaning the windows, like this is what you need to be doing. But they won't do it. You know what I mean? So I think that knowing that I'm working towards something and I'm not reaping the benefits right at that moment is the tough part, because you feel like, yo, you know what, I'm gonna stop.
Delayed
Or,
gratification.
if we to take it more extreme, sometimes you feel like you want to jump out the window, or like just say like I'm editing something and I forget to press save. You look at your computer and you think your fist can go right through it. You know what I mean? So it's a lot of real stuff that come along with this whole situation. But
You see,
still grinding.
You see yourself submitting this into any?
Definitely. Right now, everything is moving so fast, and there's so much stuff that need to get done. We right now we just focusing on actually getting it completed.
Right.
We still working at this thing. Once we get that first 3 completed, then we can have a little bit more leverage and kind of sit back and relax.
See, and that's really what we want to create. We agreed initially that what we wanted to do is we wanted we seen the support system, and it's weird because at some point we didn't get any support on some levels, but on other levels we got a lot of support, and on that level pretty much people that, okay, I ain't gonna help you clean up, I'm not gonna help you do none of that, but when y'all finish, call me up and I'll come by and look at the car or something. You know what I mean? I'll look at it, but I ain't going. So, but you need even the people to do that.
Right.
And from that aspect, we got a lot of support. So when we noticed that, we said, I feel a wave. I feel the energy from that support. So let's do this. Let's build leverage. Let's take our show and let's do what we do with it. Let's Master P it. Let's Damon John it. Let's take it and work with it ourselves, so that when we sit down at the table with corporate America, we ain't
this
begging.
Is what we did.
We're not begging. We're saying, listen, this is what we did. This is what we did.
Right.
So what y'all talking about? As opposed to,
And the crazy thing is we did that without, like you say, begging. We didn't ask for support. We didn't have a budget. Not that that's anybody's business, because they can look at it and think whatever they want to think.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But we didn't have that type of support. But we was confident. We knew. A lot of times people don't know. They want to see it to believe it first. Now some people that came to the premiere, they see the potential. But as we progress and start to get the devices we need and the proper budget,
it's
scared.
already gotten better. Like
it has, definitely.
The next episode is
Y'all,
it's crazy.
If y'all like these first 2 episodes, it just get more intense, way more. I mean, the series got everything you wanted to it. I know y'all the shock value of it. You know what I'm saying? We're seeing everybody on certain thing like, you know what I mean? And you got, got the humor in it, you got the drama in it, and you got suspense in it.
Right.
So it's
the
all
storyline.
there.
The storyline is so good too. Ducey, he did a great.
Yeah,
I don't, I told him, I'm like, I don't know what should. You got to be crazy or something to be able to sit and write, and you read the book, to jump into a female's personality and say exactly what she was saying, the gestures, like, how do you do that? Like, what? You know what I mean? Like, that's art. That's hard for me. You know what I mean? But
they were definitely on point references. Like
we got so many great, and then the music. You know what I mean?
That was gonna bring me to my next.
This guy is like, he raps so good that. But y'all probably don't even know it.
That's right. I didn't know. Learn something new every day.
And then I do the production. We got Stove, Music Knock. He got his artist T Brown. So we doing a lot. We doing a lot.
Word. I was gonna ask who's some of the artists that's in the
soundtrack.
Yeah,
soundtrack. A.K. Reed, Fonz Carter. We got Conway the Machine. We got Carrington Gaines. We got Maya Satterwhite, T Brown. A lot of people strategy. A lot of people that's local and that's doing a lot of stuff in the town right now. Like right now, this is a good time for Buffalo because there's so many people that we know personally that's out here that's getting recognition. Like Kadir Latif is with Rough Riders. You know what I mean? Right. Conway is at the table with some of everybody right now. You know what I'm saying? This Pure team is just. And it's good that the camaraderie of people from the team, from the area, it's all got that 716. Like we living for Buffalo. This is what we do. We living for the fall. This is what we do, and everybody coming together. And it's something gonna come out of
the team.
I remember seeing the
family on.
Right. Yeah, like the call to action for artists for the soundtrack for. We want local artists. We want that, We
didn't want to step outside of it because we knew that we had a lot of the talent here. Me personally, I've been in this music game for over 20 years locally. from Buffalo, and I have a bunch of artists that you hear in the movie, in the sound bites and stuff like that. Like the Emperor's Lobby is one of my personal artists.
I talked to Big Business. He's getting ready to shoot
Big-
Closed Doors,
Yeah,
which is
Big
on the
Business.
soundtrack.
We actually shooting a video for Closed Doors.
Yeah.
So,
Oh, I didn't know.
yeah.
They don't
Yeah.
call me for everything.
Yeah, so we doing a lot. You know what I'm saying? We doing a lot and just trying to tie everything into, you know, the Pure team and the Pure movement. So
You know, a lot of times, you know, they label the town, the whole area, like we hate. But I never put that label on us. Like I knew once we do what we do, it's going to generate something different. Although we worked against that, people not wanting to be a part because they felt like, they're going to just hate it, or it's just going to be another failure. You know, these are the things where people stop.
There's
you
a
know,
stigma.
hearing stuff like that, you kind of think, but the confidence level is so high right now. We know we got the ability to do what you see famous people doing. You know,
Right.
actually creating something from the ground up.
Right.
You know what I mean? So we still working.
Proof is in the
We don't
pudding.
know everything, but we still working.
Right.
That's a good trait to have in and of itself, to know that you don't know everything, that there's
Right.
still something else to learn.
Oh, very humble.
You know,
Very
because that
humble. Yeah.
humility will keep you grounded. It'll
Right.
keep you pushing. It'll keep you hungry. It'll
Right.
keep you grinding.
And even though they say I'm a director, this like without these guys and Ducey, like I would, it wouldn't be what it is right now. You know, Stove, he'd call me like, yo, I think you should do that. It's done. You know what I mean? Fonz, me and him, we battled a little bit. Yo, he would be like, you know what? We need to shoot this whole scene over. Like, yeah, all right.
I'm not
Make me
doing
a
that.
bowl of cereal. You know what I mean? But then, like, damn, you right, bro. You right. Let's do it. You know what I mean? So we have a lot of fun. We have a lot of fun.
Yeah.
And that shows a certain level of trust amongst
Absolutely.
one another.
Right,
you know,
right.
you wouldn't know
Right.
looking at you fellas sitting here right now that you didn't have history.
Right.
You know, well, actually, you guys are now making history
Absolutely.
together. So
Yeah,
that's definitely.
it was crazy how everything came together. Me being I was acting. I was doing more like live stage plays and stuff like that. I actually was doing a play, and Franz came to see me in the play, and he came up to me afterwards and was like, "Yo, you gotta be in this joint." So it was good because I first came on to the whole idea of Pure just as an actor. You know what I'm saying? But then he started recognizing a lot of other stuff that I do. I was like, yo, we can use you doing this. You know what I'm saying? And at the time, I was just like, okay, I'm going to be a part of something with some good brothers. You know what I'm saying? Some God-fearing brothers, too. You know what I mean? After learning, talking to these brothers, I knowing their stories and how they changed their life around, I'm like, okay, this is the type of energy I need to be around. You know what I'm saying? And once we did that and once we came together, y'all see what it is right now. So I was very blessed, and I like, you know, that being what these guys, how humble we are. You know what I mean? Outside of the acting, the way we take care of our families, the way we got to go, you know what I mean, put in them hours at work. You know, we still work regular jobs too, you know what I'm saying? So we all struggling. But at the same time, when you got a good foundation with brothers with you and y'all working towards the same goal, is the most beautiful thing in the world for me. And I was never a part of nothing like that.
Man, that humility speaks volumes. It goes such a long way. Like, I've seen, you know, both of you fellas out in public, and it's never been, oh, this cat think he better than, you know, never, you know, always stop to speak, always has a moment, you know what I'm saying? And that shows love right back.
Oh, definitely.
You know what I mean?
A lot of times people think that'll weaken you because other people who want a certain, they kind of look at you. Nah. I'm still great, but I'm humble too. You know what I mean? I don't mind saying you great. You know what I mean? I don't mind giving it up. If something is good, it's good. And, you know, if it's not good,
Maybe
you just
we
have
can
to
talk.
work harder. Because I see a lot of people who maybe they should reinvent themselves. You know what I mean? But you don't want to crush nobody's dreams.
Right.
You know how if you 5'5" and you barely can jump and you telling everybody, yo, I'm gonna dunk one
I'm gonna
day.
be in a dunk contest.
Somebody has to eventually tell this person like, yo, maybe you'll be good doing this instead of doing that. You know, even actors, like, I mean, he's a perfect person. He could play a street role. You know what I mean? We can't get somebody that's not a street person to play a street role because then it won't be natural. You know what I mean? So it's a lot within that. But,
Man, those roles fit each of you respectively. well.
You would think that was their persona.
The reviews was we played ourselves.
Right.
Like, some of them guys really are them guys.
Right.
You know, really were.
Especially, after catching that trailer for your story, like, Nevada fit. Like, it fit. You know what I mean?
That was actually my name, too. And when I was in the street, it was actually Nevada. So we chose to just pull that name. That's why we didn't use a name in the book. We decided to, what is Jihad?
Yeah, Jihad.
Yeah, we just switched it to Nevada. Because we wanted to deviate from the book to kind of touch some things that the book didn't necessarily address. Like he wrote the book a while ago in prison, so we wanted to kind of create more of a awareness to some things that's happened socially. We want to implement some of those things spiritually, some things that we want to implement to encourage and motivate our people as a whole. So that's where we deviate from the book. One of the situations anyway.
Still definitely true to the story.
Absolutely, yeah.
And let me touch on the clothes, the brand new life.
Man,
we don't wear the stuff because he tell us to wear it.
Right. I wear it.
We
I wear
harass him. He can't answer his phone all the time. We harass
I like the
him.
glitter when the lights is on.
We harass him for it.
I wear it. I got a couple pieces at the house.
When he first came
so.
out with it, it was like, some stuff is good and some stuff is just you attracted to. I was just like, if you see my hat collection, all brand new life. I still keep a few pieces here and there. You know what I mean? But that's another story within itself.
Right.
Brand new life.
I mean, and that logo, that brand, is deep.
Right, exactly. There's a message.
There's absolutely a message in
there.
there.
Definitely a message.
And when you see this documentary, it's gonna all come to light.
So when is that dropping?
Oh, we ain't sit down yet. We got to have a discussion with that. He got so much on his plate, but I'll say this: it's
next.
It's next. It's definitely something we have an urgency to complete the push. Yeah.
Similar platform for getting it out to the public.
Absolutely,
definitely.
Awesome.
And this is a team. It's a movement. So anything he doing, he got the full access, and that's what happens when you're part of a team. When it's somebody else, you got to play the barter system.
Right.
But it's a team, so we can anything he needs. It's like either it's a super duper discount or it's for nothing.
I feel like we just had this conversation.
The thing is, people should build teams.
Absolutely.
But everybody want to be alone or the first to
Everybody
do
wanna
this.
be the boss.
First to
Be the boss.
Everybody want to be the boss.
Yeah, they letting the music confuse them. Like a lot of stuff is just entertainment, but just build a team and trust people. Give it up to your team. You know what I mean?
One thing that I noticed, like this has truly been a blessing for me. When I came out, when I originally launched Brand New Life, start manufacturing it, it just got wheels by itself. I'm talking about I couldn't even keep up with the demand. Like it was interesting. I'll show that in the documentary, but it was amazing, And then what you've seen a lot of people from around there start popping up with all type of T-shirt lines, and this is a lot bigger than a T-shirt line. This is a clothing line. But and initially I got offended, but then I said, but if you ain't inspiring nobody, then bro, what you doing?
Right.
So I had to rethink it, But also in that I said, you know what? But what I respect more is I came up with this in prison, and it took me 7 years to even get it popping. So it's not like I just seen somebody with a clothing line and decided I just want to start slapping stuff on the shirt. See, that's what I never really I don't really respect that. You just riding a wave, but also in that they don't see behind it. They don't see that factory where it's being produced at. So they don't understand it. Yo, bro, you might have to quit your job to keep this going. And I say that not just for the clothing line. I mean, somebody might want to jump into. They see the series and they might want to jump into. Oh, now we doing a movie. No, respect. But do know that it's something that y'all don't see. I never see the roots of the tree.
You see the end product.
Yeah, you just see the end product. So no, count the cost before you just jump into something. And that's something that I notice our people, we real trendy. We just jump on stuff, not knowing. Or even this, like let's say you had a clothing line and I thought it was dope, and I wanted to start me one. I had a vision of it. Let me come help you for a minute. Yo, bro, I'm eventually trying to start mine, bro. Can I intern with you? Can I help you out? What can you? And then eventually, 10 months, 2 years, whatever, then I come with something. And then I can ask you for your advice and not just coming to pull something from you that you didn't work 5-6 years on. I want you to just give it to me overnight.
Right.
And that's something that I noticed, man, a lot. Maybe not just with our people, but I've noticed it in experience with our people. So, you know, man, put in the work. You know what I'm saying? Make the necessary sacrifices, man, and be humble. And eventually, you can be your own boss or your own preacher.
Right.
I say your own preacher because there's 1,000 churches on
and
one
with that,
block. Everybody just want to be their own preacher. So,
and with that, it's going to require hard work.
What people fail to understand is that you can have all the talent in the world,
Right.
but hustle will be talent every day when talent doesn't hustle.
They didn't see what Kobe was doing.
So
The shooting in the gym with Drake, they didn't know that part. They just see him in the games, and maybe he just make more shots than the next person. Nah, what he do behind the scenes that y'all don't know is the reason why he's so successful. You know, and people don't see that. I remember coffee, the computer, wanting to lose my mind, and sitting on the scene for about 3-4 hours, just trying to do something that you know it might only take 2 minutes. You know, and you know a lot of times it's hell, but they don't see that part. It's just the end product. You know what I mean? So,
right. That's funny you say that because, like, as a music producer working on a piece of music, a song that's 3 minutes long,
right.
I'll be sitting there at that one part, just like you said, 5 hours, just like back and forth, listening, looping it over and over,
right. To
just
perfect it.
Yeah,
to perfect it.
Exactly.
Definitely. And I know when I was, producing and stuff like that, like I mentioned about if you don't save it. I was telling you a true story. Like I remember doing something, I was like, yeah, and somebody came in and tripped over the chord, and I didn't save it because speeding and moving fast.
Oh yeah, that's why I'm saving every 2 seconds. Yeah. click. That
We
like
live
five
and we
times.
learn. We live and we learn.
Yeah.
We live and we learn. But I can definitely, agree with that.
So for any aspiring, people out there looking to film a show, a movie, even videos or anything like that,
Right.
what's a piece of advice that you can give them to help them move along?
A lot. It just has to be something that you patient. You got to be patient. If you're not patient, don't even try because it's not a rush. You take the art out of it when you try to rush or you try to just do it like I use a certain type of program where I actually learned how to do certain things like slow motion effects and learned it instead of a preset. It's a lot of presets.
Right.
Color correction, for anybody who do film, it's a lot of presets. I don't do none of that. I'm all raw, straight. I take the color curves or whatever, and I can make footage from one camera look like it came from another camera. And that's the thing, if you learn how to do it, and it's a learning process. Like I'm still educating myself. I go to YouTube University.
Right.
So, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I'm
Right.
constantly looking at tutorials, and I don't do it so I can be better. I do it because it's me.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like when it's something for you, you got a burning desire to do it. You might make everybody mad around you because you're so consumed in
and
it.
you watching it. I don't want to watch this. I go through that a lot.
Yeah.
with my girl.
Right. And then you start to look at movies different. Because once we got into it, you start to see that.
I watch movies. I see
You
stuff
start
in movies
predicting the
now
shots
that,
and
right.
Yeah.
I see stuff in movies now like flaws in movies that people will never catch just from doing them.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, oh, the base was right here, and
now
then when it
it's
came
over
back to
here.
this frame, it was over here. You know what I'm saying? So
Right.
it gives you a new appreciation.
yeah.
Absolutely.
You appreciate the art of it. You know what I'm saying? I haven't been doing the acting thing for too long. It's just ironic. The first time I ever went for a casting call, I ended up getting casted for a motion picture. You know what I'm saying? So from there, I ended up meeting a acting coach, Phil Davis. I don't know if y'all know him a little bit.
That's a familiar name.
Yeah, he does a lot of productions, and from there, I just been working. So it's been the last 3 years has been very broad for me. You know what I'm saying? It's been very good for me because it kept me out of trouble. You know what I'm saying? From doing a lot of things I was doing, and at the same time, I was working towards something very good and getting very good at it. You know what I mean? So I appreciate that.
I do got a question for you. Putting music together for a movie, right, or for a show, a TV show. What's that process like? Is that difficult to do? Because I would imagine that you got to pick the right music for the right moment.
You got to have an ear for it.
He said it.
My partner
He
T
got an ear
Brown.
for it.
Me and my partner T Brown. Is Music Now ET. That's our company, and we've been working together since '03, and everything that we do, we just gel off of one another. So yeah, you got to get the right songs. You know what I'm saying? And just try to. It's the best way I can describe it is a DJ. You know, like a DJ. When a DJ blend records, he got to catch the right snare, right kick that make everything be on tempo. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And that's what it is. When you listen to the soundtrack, it kind of take you to the. It's like a flow of the movie.
Right.
And when you listen to it, you remember certain things about the movie. Now. Like, oh yeah, that's the part. So that's what we was kind of going for with it. But it wasn't as hard because the music was submitted. You know what I mean? So I didn't have to literally go into the studio with every individual artist. You know what I'm saying? I just had to make sure that sound was right. You know, different people recording at different studios, and you know what I'm saying. So I said, okay, let me get all the tracks that I feel like that we can use in this soundtrack.
Because you might have 2 songs that might be similar for a scene, or you might even have 3. You know what I mean? It's like,
and now I got to pick the best ones. But at the same time, I'm like, you know, we have music submitted from everywhere, Atlanta, all over. But at the same time, if I heard Atlanta track and it had that Atlanta feel, and I had somebody from Buffalo with that same Atlanta feel, I went with the Buffalo artist. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I just went with the home joint. But that's why on the soundtrack is listed as Volume 1.
Right.
Because there's going to be other volumes. As long as Pure keep having seasons, we're going to have different volumes to showcase talent every year that we have it out. So
that's going to be hot.
So are we looking and we pushing Deuce to keep writing the right
more? I was just talking to him last night,
now.
And when he go into his zone, he'll do a lot within 24 hours.
Deuce a special dude.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? He's a ground shaker, man. That man is. He's been blessed with a gift, man, and it's just not hard for him to do it, and he's disciplined enough to pull it off.
He's not here today, but he really the nucleus to the, like if it wasn't for Deuce, this whole thing wouldn't be possible. Yeah. What he did was he came and he snatched me, he snatched Fonz, and
I only came to the table because of Deuce.
Yeah,
you know I just got a lot going on. Now, however, once I met Reed and established a relationship with Reed. Now, I wouldn't take Deuce now for me to work with Reed, but again, initially, he definitely is the element that brought me to the table.
Yeah, you know, it's funny because when the whole thing started off, like I knew Deuce when I was younger, so I knew his street. Like we, you know, the same area we came up, and buddy of mine, he was telling me about him. He called me. He was like, "Yo, I got somebody that could possibly play a role in the Bartenders if we would have did the second part of it," and he could have said anybody in the town, and I would have said no. In my mind, I would have said no. And he said Deucey. I was like, Deucey. You know what I mean? Because once you hear the name, it's like, oh,
it rings.
It rings like, oh, dude. But I know him, so it's like, oh, shoot, Deucey. So I had no idea he could write. Then when he came to the table and he read the little paragraph of the opening scene, I was like, it was real. It's like, yo, that got to be the opening scene. And I was like, I knew it had to been done. And he was telling me about Fonz. Now, coming in when I was like, oh boy, here we go. You know what I mean? Because I'm not good with. I need to be able to see something, and around here you don't see something because a lot of people they chase something, but like my grandmother told me, they don't finish, or they don't really know what they want to be. They just want to be trendy, like y'all was saying. You know what I mean? So, but once I heard his story, it was like, whew, that's crazy. Like, how am I at the table with y'all two? Like, I shouldn't be here. But then they looking at me like, yo, you know who you are. You know what I mean? So, and then Stove coming aboard and everybody coming aboard. It was a beautiful thing.
You know, one of the key elements that I want to share with the viewers, anybody that's aspiring, to do anything in life, you gotta stay on point. You gotta be conscious at like every moment. And I don't mean to get weird, but you gotta be conscious that a lot of us just run around haphazardly, just what up, what's good, let's smoke, and you're not really on point. When I met this dude after like the second time I met him, I said, "Oh, homeboy, a boss." You know what I'm saying? I know I'm a boss. I'm a leader, boss, however you want to put it. I'm the one that want to be in a room full of bosses. Like that. That's the room I want to be in. You know what I'm saying? I'm saying I want to be the dumbest person in the room.
Because if you're the smartest person, you're in the wrong room.
Exactly.
Right.
See, a lot of people, and a lot of people they don't believe in that. Right. So I say to the person that's watching this, when you run across a boss, man, don't be intimidated.
That's the thing.
Don't be intimidated,
Don't-
man. Pull him in.
And embrace it.
Pull
Right.
him in, man, as quick as possible. And
And
don't
learn.
do it smoothly,
Right.
nonchalantly, pridefully. No, be intentful. Do it deliberately. Yo, fam, what's good with you, man? I noticed you boom. That's what I did with him. I said I'm gonna bring you to the table, and eventually they gonna have to see what I say. I ain't gonna have to say nothing.
And,
man. That's what happened.
piggybacking off of what he said about him bringing me in, like I said, I've been in this game for 20 years. And this was his name, you know what I mean? And I wasn't the type. I'm the type of person. Okay, let me print my stuff up, make sure everything is legal.
Right.
Let me put these joints in stores. You know what I'm saying? And see what I'm doing. You get the little buzz, and people go out and get them. But the initial grind was something I wasn't familiar with.
Right.
Getting out with these boys and seeing him grinding shirts and, you know what I mean, seeing Deuce grinding books, I said, okay, if I ain't learning something by sitting around these dudes, then I'm stupid.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So what I did was, when I came out with the Emperor's Lobby CD, I did the same thing. I went hand in hand.